Great job on those last skills, guys. We're going to move into our next descent skill. This skill specifically, descent with stopping before contacting the bottom. The idea is to descend and not to hit the bottom. The objective here, with a buddy, in our buddy teams, we're going to descend in water too deep to stand, using the 5-point method that we've learned previously, and using our buoyancy control to stop the descent without contacting the bottom. We're going to gain neutral buoyancy. This skill becomes very valuable, especially on boat dives, say for instance above a shallow reef, where you get dropped off and you need to begin your dive on the surface and descend without touching the bottom, right? Because we don't like to touch the reef. We're going to do this skill in the deep end here in just a few minutes, but before we do that, I want to explain to you how this skill is going to go. As we swim over there, we're going to keep our snorkels in our mouth, and I'm going to actually demonstrate this skill for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to watch me, at which point I ask you guys to just stand still, watch what I do. As I finish the demo, I'll come back up and instruct you further. In the buddy teams, we're going to do a 5-point descent. Remember our acronym, sorted for that. We're going to signal, orient ourselves, grab our regulator, take our snorkel out and replace it with our reg, check our time in our dive computers, and then descend while we equalize, right? I went through some of the signals there, but most importantly, I'll ask you guys to watch me. We always, of course, are going to use the OK sign. If for any reason I see an issue during the descent, or if you have any issues equalizing, remember those signals as well, as I can read the signals from you too. As if I point things out, remember I might ask you to ascend a little bit or go up in case you're falling or touching the bottom. I might ask you to add small bursts of air into your BC to attain that neutral buoyancy. And of course, when we swim, I'll use signals of that nature as well. And then ascend at the very end, right? Like I said, we're going to do this over here in the deep end. I'll make sure that everybody's teamed up before we do it. I'll actually take 2 buddy teams down. You guys will watch over each other. I'll be watching you since I don't have an assistant today. If anything goes wrong, I'll come up and gather your attention. I don't anticipate many issues with this, but it's a good idea. Let's go ahead and talk with our buddy teams before we get to the deep end. Make sure we're all comfortable and confident in using our inflator hoses, and then we'll go over there and start practicing the skill. All right, guys, everybody ready to perform the next skill? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to demo this for you. While I do that, please keep your snorkels in your mouth. As I descend underwater, make sure and turn underneath so you can watch how I perform this skill so that you can then mimic it after I return. So, let's go ahead and get started. Was everybody able to see how I performed that? Okay, so we're going to start with our first buddy team. You guys, come with me. You two, stay next to the wall. Please keep a hand on the ladder. Please watch us while we do the skill. You guys come forward just slightly. Are you ready to perform the skill? Mm-hmm. All right. Please, as a buddy team, go ahead and perform. All right, go ahead. Go ahead and stick your snorkels back in your mouth for me just one moment. So just a couple things here on the descent. Genevieve, when you descend, remember to add small bursts of air so that you gain neutral buoyancy before hitting the bottom. Same thing for you as well. Before you go all the way down, make sure and add a couple bursts of air so that you can stay neutral. Also on the ascent, make sure and ascend while pushing down the inflator so that you're not inflating your BC and ascending to the surface. You guys ready to try that one more time? Let's do that over. Go ahead and do your 5-point descent, and I'll see you at the bottom. Great job, guys. Go ahead and switch to your snorkel for me if you would. Awesome job, Eric. Awesome job, Genevieve. Let's go ahead and go right over here next to the ladder. Please grab a hold of that and watch us while I take the next team down. All right, great job. Welcome back to the surface. You did a wonderful, wonderful job. Each of your buddy pairs performed this perfectly. We did have a couple issues though, just want to go over a little bit. I did notice one of the teams on the first descent had a little bit of poor buoyancy or gaining neutral buoyancy at the bottom. We kind of bounced off. We were able to correct that, but everybody here was really good towards the end at adding small little bits of air as we descend down to gain that neutral buoyancy and swim on streamline through the water. This is going to work out great for the rest of the training that we have planned. Just want to congratulate everybody there. Just make sure we avoid touching the bottom in the future when we do those free descents. Apart from that, everybody feel confident?
Yeah.
Good, let's start moving on.